Okay, we are live. Let's give it a couple of minutes for the participants to join us.
Okay. So, where can we see the name of the participants?
Okay, so basically once they comment, then we
Mm-hmm.
can see their names.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if not,
But
it's just nothing lah.
yeah,
Okay.
this is what happens when you go online. Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to our participants. Let's wait a little bit more, maybe until 5 minutes, 9:05, so we can have our other friends join us. Okay, those who are already here, how are you? You guys can reply me by commenting on the comment section, whether you're from Facebook or from YouTube channel. Ya, kalau online macam ni lah doktor, kita kadang-kadang rasa macam cakap seorang-seorang lah. Ada
Right. It's okay, you are talking to me. Kita ada 2 orang sini. Okay.
Yeah, the 3 minutes. Okay, you guys can also invite your friends to join us. Okay, doctor, we have our first comment. You can see on the right side. Hello, doctor.
Hello. Hello, Iqbal Akid. Where are you from, Iqbal Akid? Iqbal is from Kuantan. Faham. Assalamualaikum, Iqbal. How are you? Sudah makan ke belum?
Semua dah dinner ke? Saya belum.
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 Sumaya so busy today, Sumaya.
Yes. A lot of things to prepare for tonight. But it's okay, I can just take supper.
Apa?
Sudah makan, Alhamdulillah. Okay, boleh semangat dah ni nak dengar ni. Tak apa, saya tak makan pun saya semangat juga.
Hello,
Okay,
Assalamualaikum.
1 more minute. Semangat. Bagus. Teman kita orang tahu.
That's good, Iqbal.
Okay, ready, doctor? We have like less than 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in our live sharing session tonight. I am Sumaya, your favorite moderator. All right. Before I introduce our speaker for tonight, as usual lah, I would like to advertise our Telegram channel where we provide free and informative content relating to postgraduates. So you can subscribe to this channel. Wait, let me show. Okay, on your screen, you can subscribe to that Telegram channel. So, and now, okay, I would like to introduce our speaker. So, our speaker tonight is a success and productivity coach. She's a mom of 3 young children and a PhD graduate in mechanical engineering from Meiji University, Japan. Wow. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, konbanwa.
Okay, sorry. As a part-time research associate and self-financing her PhD, she learned how to use her precious time and resources to accomplish her career goals and graduate her PhD on time while not sacrificing priceless time spent creating memories with her family. She now coaches other ambitious women to save their time and energy so they too can spend more priceless time with their families while achieving their career goals. In her free time, she shares her productivity tips on her podcast called You Rock Podcast. So I will show you, I will give the link to the podcast by the end of the session. So stay tuned. Okay. So let us welcome our beautiful Dr. Noor Aliah Majid. Over to you, Dr.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much, Sumaya, for the kind introduction. And thank you, Proofreader United, for inviting me today to this live in YouTube and Facebook Live. I'm so thrilled to be here to spend some time with all the postgraduate students, master students, PhD students. All are you guys inspired to pursue your goals in achieving, your PhD and your masters. I'm really glad to see you guys here today. Okay, so today I'll be sharing some of the things about my journey on conducting my PhD in Japan. So, the title is How to Not Lose Sight of Who You Are Beyond Your PhD, right? Because,
Yes.
I think all of us, all of you guys already know that PhD is a really lonely journey. You feel alone. There are so many things to do, and you need to focus, really focus to get things done, to maybe conduct your research experiments that takes too much of your time, and so on. And you become lonely, and maybe people around you don't understand what you are facing with, right? So who here can say that yes, you feel that way? Maybe you can comment in the chat box below your thoughts about your journey in your PhD and masters. Maybe share some of your struggles or challenges with others too, because sometimes when we share our journey with others, we can see that, oh, other people are actually feeling the same with us, and we are in this together, and actually we are not alone. So getting back into our topic for today, how to not lose sight of who you are beyond your PhD. Okay, first let me give a brief introduction about my journey into my PhD, right? So the thing is that I have always been a person who really really have that ambition of completing my PhD since I was younger lah kan, because when we see people completing their PhD, it's like the highest form of education. So it's
Yes.
somewhat like
We
as an
idolize them.
as an ambitious woman, we thought
Yes.
that that's the thing that I want, right? So
Yes.
I have always have that dream lah, that impian to get my PhD. So the thing is that after my master's study, instead of completing my PhD immediately after that, I decided to take a break because my responsibilities because my master was under scholarship from Malaysia, so I have to go back to Malaysia. My master's was in Japan, so I have to go back to Malaysia. And that at that age, maybe my priority was having a marriage, being married, and have some kids. So
Family.
yeah, building a family. So although during that time, most of people around me was saying that you better pursue your PhD fast lah kan, because you will lose your momentum. Okay, so itu benda yang biasa kita dengar kan, macam no, you have to do it while you are really macam have
At
this
your
motivation.
prime.
Yeah, your prime time, when you have your energy right now, whatever kan.
Yes.
So so that's the thing. um, Instead of following those kind of advices, although I know I want to have my PhD, I don't really directly go further my study during that time. So I thought that it's better for me to take a break because having family was my priority. So during that time, my priority is building a family. So after 5 years of working in a university, it was University Malaysia Sarawak. I was a lecturer there. So I decided to instead of pursuing my study, I decided to follow my husband because we end up during that time, my husband got what we call it, opportunity lah to pursue his study, because he is a lecturer also. So to pursue his study in Japan. So during that time, I decided to just follow him, without a plan, because I thought that okay, maybe this is the end of my journey of achieving
Study,
something. Yeah,
academic
because
journey.
when we started to hear from people that once you get married, once you get kids, you cannot pursue anything of your own. There's a common mentality that we have, especially as a woman.
True.
When we started to have kids, you just go with the flow, things like that. So that's the thing. I started to believe that it's true. So I just follow him and not planning to do anything. But the fact is that after just a few months, I was there, just following my husband. I found that I was in the most depressive state.
Depressing.
Yeah, it's depressing state. Yeah, so I don't have anything to do on my own. I don't. Although I have my two kids at that time to take care of them, I'm busy taking care of them, but something was off balance for me, because I have always been a person who have this ambition, but suddenly that ambition is gone, and what else could I do? So that's when I decided that maybe it's a time for me to start my PhD. Okay, so this story is quite long because I want to really share you guys about the journey of PhD. Each of us is different, and there's
True.
there's a struggles that we have to face, and everybody is different struggle that they will encounter. So my problem was that at the time I was in Japan at that time with my husband, and I tried to find scholarships for myself. But the problem that I face is that during that time there's not so much.
Available.
Yeah, there's no available scholar from Malaysia. So I tried to apply, but actually it's nothing. It's just some kind of just application, but in reality there's no funding for that particular year. So what happened is that I tried to find scholarships inside Japan from the Japanese government, but the fact that I was there, meaning that I am a foreigner who is already in Japan, I cannot apply for that scholarship. So that scholarship is for people who is from
Other
let's say
countries.
yeah, other countries. If we are from Malaysia, we can apply for that scholarship. So yeah, I was stuck. Okay, I want to now. I'm at that time. I feel that I'm ready to start my
To
PhD,
pursue
but
your
yeah, but I don't have any funding. So yeah, it makes me feel like, am I really? Can I do this? How am I getting funding for this, and so on? So yeah, that's when I started to really take a moment of reflection and really think about what are the choices, what are the ways for me to get financial supports. So I started to look into the university and what kind of fundings that they have for the PhD student, and then I found out about this research associate that I can apply, and really it's a part-time job in the university, and meaning that I have to conduct some classes every week and lab demonstrations and so on, and in turn they pay me, so that using that money I pay my own tuition fee. So yeah, that was quite a struggling time for me, because I worked to pay my own tuition fee for the 3 years that I was there, and to be honest, the tuition fee for Japan University is not something that you will, it's not something that you can really save from here to think about, to pay all of that in
Yeah, I mean the currency itself is very scary.
yeah. So yeah, and apa, it's not something yang um, because I think many of you guys would like to know how I do it, so that's why I'm sharing that here. So the thing is that I have this relationship with my supervisor at the time, and he was the one who recommended me in the faculties, because I can also speak Japanese, and I was their student before that. So because of that, I get it's actually an employment in the university. So that's why I alhamdulillah get that finance from there. But what I'm sharing here is that um, the fear of starting, you cannot see the way how to do it. Sometimes it just happens, will happen whenever you try to really want to do something on your own. When you have this goal that you want to do, sometimes you cannot see the way. But sometimes spending time reflecting on things that you can do, what are the strategies that you can do, and really reconnect with Allah, and really find guidance. Inshallah, you'll find a way on how to pursue it forward. So things that I think have been, what's the thing that I want to really share with you guys today is like not to lose yourself during PhD is something, because PhD is not the end of your journey of growth, because
Yes.
this is just a starting stone, a stepping stone and it develops you into something much bigger than the PhD itself. So losing yourself for the sake of one scroll, is it really worth it? So you have to think about that, because um, what I've seen, because I do coaching with my clients and so on, and I saw many people who are struggling with their PhD and who starts to lose their balance. They might really neglected their self-care, neglected their relationships. Maybe they have a family, but because of their PhD that they want to really focus on, so they feel like okay, family should be put aside for a while. So the reality is that for me, you have to really understand what is your priority, right? So PhD is something that you want, something that push you forward, But the reality is that the number one priority is, what's your number one priority? So that's the thing that you have to really think about. So for me, it's easy. My number one priority is, of course, to serve Allah, right? So that should be the number one priority of all, for all of us, right? And then the second one, okay, some people might say the second priority would be their family,
Family.
But for me, after I experienced, because I was taking care of my own kids, and also we are both, working and doing PhD in Japan. So my I have come to realize that number two is actually taking care of myself, because once I took care of myself, I start to feel like I can really take care of others, especially my kids, and also my husband, better, right? So you see, PhD is still not at that, because if you start to talk to your professor, your supervisor, of course they will say your priority is your PhD, right? So that's true.
Yeah.
That's true, because you must be really emotionally attached to your PhD
PhD.
topic, PhD field, whatever thing that you want to do. You must have this desire to really, achieve it, right? To be
Yes. To
emotionally attached
complete
to
it.
it. Yes, but in reality, in the bigger picture, actually, your priority, there's so many other things before the PhD comes. So yeah, when we talk about how to not lose sight of yourself, you have to really remember that what is your priority. Okay. So yeah.
Priorities straight.
Yeah. So what do you think, Smaya? In terms of priority in pursuing study, do you think that PhD should be your number one priority?
No, I don't think so. I think if I put PhD on top of the list, then I would probably be burnt out faster.
Yes, yes.
Then
I
everything would just
fall
crumble.
apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I really agree with you, because we often hear that PhD is a struggle, PhD takes time, PhD is your
Yes.
main focus, and all those things. And I agree with that. It's, you need determination. You really need focus to really accomplish that. But and the reality is that you should not lose your own self in order to get something that, at the end of the day, it's it's something that's, it's a recognition for you yourself. But uh, if you are, by achieving that, you are somehow losing yourself. So what's the point, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just
So
sad.
mm, so that's so sad. So I hope this sharing gives you guys a bit of a relief, uh, and because we often also hear that PhD is not a, competition. It's everybody progress at their own pace, and that is all true, because each of us have our different challenges. Maybe you are being challenged by a very challenging supervisor, or maybe you have kids who maybe are sick most of the time, so you cannot really focus on your PhD, and so on. So those are the things that, things that you have to reflect upon. Why do these things happen to me? That's not the question that you have to ask, but actually, what is these challenges teaches me, right? What are these challenges teaches me? What can I learn from this? So that's the question that you have to ask yourself. It's not why, kenapa saya je macam ni, kenapa. It's not like that, right? It's what can you learn from the challenges that you are given. Okay, so that's one thing. And the next thing that I would like to really share is about the fact that that just now is just one part, and then another part who people who don't really have the challenges, but their problem is maybe procrastination, that kind of way pun ada kan, macam apa, how you start to lose motivation, maybe because of the study become really boring kan, macam you pun starting to get to find external validation so that you are feeling more motivated in some way. So that's another thing to look at, that really to think about why do you want to start this journey, yeah, right? So procrastination tu memang ada. Semua orang pun akan rasa macam sometimes we want to put it off until deadlines, baru kita nak rush things off to do it. So yeah, be aware of that, and really look at why are you starting to procrastinate on certain things. Is it because it's too hard for you, or is it because there's something else yang you need to make actually other things is more priority for you or whatsoever. So think about that, because procrastination can be so many behind procrastination tu ada so many yeah. So if you are really memang tak ada apa-apa alasan, but just you memang nak procrastinate je, so that's one thing that you have to really change your habit, and to start doing things incrementally, so that you don't rush things off when it gets to last minute and so on, right? So one of the things that I when I started my PhD, I honestly I was kind of susah nak fokus jugalah, because honestly it's really macam lonely kan, kita nak start baca journal banyak-banyak tu, and you get really tired of looking at it. So some of the ways is actually to I think most of you have already done it. Maybe you not, maybe you can try it to develop a macam study group or seminar like that, because usually that's that's the thing that biasanya PhD student dekat Jepun memang buatlah benda macam tu kan.
Ada group social groups.
Social group tu dia maybe dia baca journals together with masters and undergraduate students, so that it's not something that you rasa bila baca journal seorang-seorang dah lah susah. Dah lah susah, you pun tak faham
seorang-seorang pula.
Seorang-seorang. So bila baca bersama-sama, we discuss about it. Sometimes bila kita baca dan kita cuba ajar orang, kita akan lagi senang untuk hafal, untuk memahami sesuatu konsep tu kan. So that's some things that you can do to really not lose sight, not become too lonely in your journey, because memang if you go on it alone and think that this journey is yours entirely, it is actually not, because especially for PhD lah, because PhD teaches you how to manage people also, manage your experiments, manage people, manage your time. It's not only you and your study alone. So that's another point to consider lah about that. Okay, so the next thing is about when some people might think like how can I do everything kan, macam so many things to do, so little time and so on, right? So that thing is actually quite simple, I think, because I think the most important thing is for each of the thing that you have to do in life, or whether in life ataupun in your PhD also, you have to remember what is your why on in every project that you have kan. Apa your goal for that kan? Apa yang you nak achieve from that experiments? Apa yang you nak achieve from attending this conference ke whatsoever kan. So sometimes I also hear that supervisor bagi banyak kerja, you have to do this, do has that, and so on with that semua benda tu. It is true that we have to macam also caters to whatever yang supervisor cakap, but the reality is that the all of the tasks, all the to-dos yang your supervisor give to you is actually one macam ujian lah to see whether how can you manage all the things kan, how can you prioritize your time to really manage to get things done for all of the things kan, ataupun adakah sebenarnya there are some things yang you actually can eliminate or delegate or automate, so all of the things kan. So that's another thing to remember. Okay. So yeah, I think that's some of the sharing lah about not really some santai-santai lah tentang my tips on how to really not to lose focus lah, lose sight of your PhD.
Okay, Doctor?
Okay. So I think you can go to the questions right now.
Alright, sure. Okay. Okay, I think the first question would be apa persediaan awal untuk buat PhD, Doctor?
Oh, persediaan awal. Okay. So persediaan awal ni, I think the most important thing is literature review lah, because bila you are a bit prepared for that, you dapat bayangkan lagi lah apa which feel yang you rasa kena dengan, because actually bila you start doing literature review before you approach a supervisor, you akan nampak which supervisor yang akan is better fit for your topic and so on, right? And skills to macam yang using the Mendeley software ke whatsoever tu kan, macam writing skills and so on tu, some of it benda yang you can start to brush up juga, macam reading literature review, reading journals. So I think that's some of the preparation lah untuk start PhD. And of course, apart from that is financial, maybe whether you apply for scholarships or you self-funded. So all of the things tu pun adalah preparation lah to start your PhD.
Okay, so since you are a mother and a wife yourself, so how do you balance your work, your health, family, and then pursuing PhD as well? So how do you balance all of that?
Okay. So to be honest, perfect balance tu memang tak boleh dicapai. Cumanya we have to really prioritize. So macam as I mentioned just now kan, what is your priority? For me, I always put macam my faith to God is the first and myself is second. So although PhD tu is something that I want to do, but I never at least I try my best to not neglect my health. So to be honest, I never, maybe one time or two time to stay back at the lab for the experiments and so on. Most of the time I just go back because I have to be back by this time because I have my kids and I have to prepare the dinner. So I just go back because that's my first priority. My family is my first priority. So yeah, I think balance, the ultimate balance doesn't happen. Just that how you prioritize it. So for me, it's always God, myself, and then my family, and then baru PhD tu datang. So when you keep that in mind, insyaAllah, you will start to see your routine to take over macam mana kan, and become more towards the the way yang you wanted. So for me, memang I try as much as I can to not bring home my work, and I think of the reason why I don't like to procrastinate is because kalau I've done, I get completed all my work, I don't have to bring back my work, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
my thought of how I manage my time lah, I think. Yeah.
Okay, in doing that, so you must have been very consistent with your writing, right? So
Ah.
ada juga yang tanya macam mana nak consistent tu.
Yeah, that's right. So for the writing part, macam memang dari starting, I try my best to write macam 100 words per day tau, because I learn from somewhere that you have to just go practicing and your writing. And so when I started, I don't know what to write actually, but I remember that because people said that try to write 100 words per day, so I
Yeah.
just write whatever I thought. So things that I learned that day, so I just write, oh okay, maybe blah 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 blah. I just write so that I can macam kind of practice how to construct my thoughts in a scientific way, kind of thing kan. So I make it a habit lah. I developed that habit. I really nail down that habit for the macam, you know, bila kita nak start new habit tu susah kan. So I try to do it macam 1-2 bulan consistently every day. So I think most of you guys yang sama PhD ni mesti pernah baca buku Atomic Habit kan. So you can try using that technique lah. Maksudnya you try to do it little by little. Maybe first time you do it, it's not up to 100 words, maybe just 10 words, but you know, incrementally practicing just to write something kan. So not putting it off, just really being consistent is one of the key lah, so that you will progress. And because I think in reality, your professor also want to know how much you really put effort into your work. It's not like bukan macam the for perfect things doesn't happen, but they want to see how much you are giving effort in whatever you are trying to do, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
little progress is still a progress, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, so next question would be, okay, this is a bit long. Assalamualaikum, Doctor. I'm afraid to register for PhD due to financial. I'm afraid PhD will cost so much that I'll quit halfway. I prefer to study full time for my PhD. So, I guess what is your advice? Sebab dia terus jump ke second question. Tak ada soalan kat situ.
Okay.
Okay, and nak saya baca terus ke second question tu ke? Macam mana?
Baca terus pun boleh.
Okay, so the second question is, do you think it's possible to work in private universities with the heavy workload while furthering PhD at the same time? Thank you in advance, Doctor.
Okay, so this is quite a good question lah, because I'm also a self-finance PhD student also myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so because when I started, I remember being scared of it also, because I thought that boleh ke nak buat ni kan sampai 3 tahun nak kerja dan save duit untuk that. Macam, you know, when you have to save duit just for paying your tuition fee, meaning that you have to sacrifice all other things yang luxury things that people are buying. You have to no, I have to simpan for my tuition fee, right? So yeah, that's the thing. But starting with a big why, you know, starting with a really big reason, the purpose that you start your PhD, having it really clear will help you to really, you know, push you bila things get hard. Because if you are not clear on the why you are getting your PhD, for example, you do your PhD because my mom said so things like that is not, you know, you are not clear with why you want to do your PhD. So if you are clear with why you are doing it, then even though it is hard, you will inshallah find a way to overcome it. Okay, so that's one thing. And
If
then
there's a way.
yes, that's true, that's totally true. And then the second question is it possible
Possible to work in private universities with the heavy workload while furthering PhD.
so
I guess this
it's
is about balancing time again.
Yeah, balancing time again. So I think anything is possible when you put your heart and soul in it, right? When you put your heart and effort in it. And as I mentioned just now, when you start it with a big why, kan? So apa if you are really clear with what is it that you want with your PhD, what achieving it, what apa yang akan berubah dalam hidup you whatsoever like that, kan? So I think it is possible because macam you mentioned tadi lah, when there's a will there's a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think memang it goes back to why we nak sambung belajar juga kan, macam niat kita tu. Okay, so the next question would be how to confront supervisor that is very busy with administration work, but yet still want to accept postgraduate student with more than 10 supervisors.
Okay. So this is something yang I must say that it's a common problem lah. Macam usually supervisor will have more than 10 supervisee. It's something that common, right? Because that's something yang kita nak lebih banyak students, lebih ramai postgraduate students untuk lebih meningkat, right? So and the reality is that administration work pun memang ada, benda tu tidak lari daripada hakikat seorang supervisor. So the reality is that what do you do, kan? What do you do with that, kan? How can you control the situation, kan?
Mm-hmm.
So how to confront SV yang very busy ni is maybe you can really instead of giving macam minta email, I mean macam short email whatever macam tu, just tell the supervisor what do you want actually, right? Sometimes when we are clear of why kita nak jumpa tu, apa yang kita nak jumpa tu, what's the really you just because you asking that how to confront, kan? How to confront SV ni, maksudnya I think because maksudnya dia nak macam nak jumpa to get advice lah kot maksudnya, kan? So because in reality is that, okay, let me tell you. In reality is that Japanese supervisor pun usually they are really busy with the administrative work, and students bawah dia lebih banyak lah, I think maybe 20 plus macam tu. So it's not easy for me to even meet my supervisor because he was I think he was a dean at the time. So it's quite hard for me to actually meet him. But we established macam not really weekly lah, maybe bi-weekly timing to meet. And sometimes kalau tak ada progress memang tak jumpa pun, but bila I need to really tell something ke, really there's something to get done tu, memang saya akan email dia dan minta jumpa banyak kali. Tapi sometimes dia still tak nak jumpa saya juga. So that's the fact. Then you will feel down lah. Memang that was what happened lah. Memang you akan feel down and you feel like, I cannot do anything because my supervisor don't want to see me and things like that. But in reality is that there are some things that is under your control, right? So think about that. Other than the things yang you need from your SV, apakah benda lain yang you can do to really make progress on your work? Because the reality is that your work is your work. So making progress is your responsibility. So I think that's the way. Just one of the way to look at it.
I think another tip is because actually we had one speaker that he talked about like how to handle busy supervisor, like how to manage it. So from what he had said, I let me just share lah sikit-sikit. So basically you have to kejar your SV, but you have to have everything ready first. So meaning you will only meet your supervisor when you have your progress, and then perhaps whatever that you want to ask him or her, and everything must be ready in like in maybe a list, or like something that the supervisor can view, maybe hard copy of it, so you can give to the supervisor once he or she agreed to meet you, because by then bila everything is ready, so macam the supervisor can just belik tengok, check, and then just give the feedback right there and then. Yeah, that's one way, which is you have to kerja, but at the same time be respectful lah, because supervisor also has their own schedule and everything. So once you get the green light to meet him or her, you have to respect that he or she has given their time to meet you. So you have to be ready with everything that you want to ask, or maybe show and ask for feedback and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's one way lah to how can you handle or manage busy supervisor from a speaker that have talked about this before.
Yes, I totally agree with you, because I remember when my supervisor was really busy and I really need to meet him, because because I want to submit my journal and so on. I remember that I have to really get it done first. Then only I get to meet him, because if just still macam in the beginning tak siap lagi, things like that, it jadi macam dia tak nak layan lagi macam tu. So
Bukan
because
tak layan tu, mungkin akan get angry juga, because macam dia dah bagi time untuk you, and then you come with maybe half-hearted
yes.
punya tu. So
Because
yeah.
I understand, because sometimes we feel like alah, kita nak try, we want to discuss first, so that bila kita buat tu, kita buat benda yang betul terus. Macam sometimes we want that, right? That's the ideal our idealization of writing ni kan. But sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes we have to really think about what is the goal of this paper that we want to write, and really follow our own thinking, apa outcome yang kita dah dapat apa semua tu. Sometimes that's when why our supervisor would really appreciate what we are doing, because dia betul-betul nak tengok apa pandangan kita, apa yang kita belajar, apa yang kita dapat, kajian kita tu kita dapat apa daripada situ kan. So that's maybe one of the reason why is actually they really prefer to see that the paper is already done, at least for the first draft, right? So yeah.
So yeah, that's one way. So the next question would be, okay doktor, macam saya master coursework, sekarang PhD research, dan macam culture shock. Tajuk ni pun macam still kena revise. Saya risau tajuk ni tak boleh buat. Risau apa yang saya cari sia-sia. Macam mana ya doktor?
Okay.
Maksudnya from master coursework dia tukar ke PhD dia buat by research, and then maybe struggling lah.
Okay, so dia kata tajuk ni pun still kena revise. Saya risau tajuk ni tak boleh buat, risau apa yang saya cari sia-sia kan. Okay, so for me I think this is a mindset problem lah, because when I look at things, when we do things, kita tak patut rasa sesuatu yang kita usahakan tu menjadi sia-sia, because everything we do, we will learn something from it. Even though tajuk tu lepas tu kena revise, that's how we learn, okay? That's how we get feedback, and we learn, we grow from that. So I think thinking of it as a growth mentality, and having a growth mindset for that, and think like jangan anggap benda tu sebagai something yang fix, because the reality is that memang tajuk tu akan berubah sampai akhirnya, sampai graduation tu.
Work in progress.
Yeah, still work in progress, because that is what PhD is. Dia memang benda tu sepatutnya berubah, because it's research kan. Bila kita dapat tahu, baru kita dapat memberitahu melalui title tu. So I think it's not something it's not a reality lah to know that okay, satu tajuk tu will be your tajuk until
until
you
the end.
graduate. Yeah, so meaning that it's not something to worry, it's something yang you should be thankful for, because you are learning so many things, and you know, upgrading your tajuk. You have your supervisor who really giving you feedback on things that yang mungkin you are going to different direction. So yeah, I think that's the journey, right?
Yeah. Okay. So the next question would be how to manage time as a part-time PhD student, and how to manage mental health or burnout, being
Mm,
burnout.
mm, mm. Yeah. So apa ini pun something yang I can really macam apa understand lah, because I also do other work yang totally not related with my PhD. Apa yang I mentioned just now kan, the classes apa,
Mm-hmm, yeah.
so the classes tu took some time juga, and sometimes I get tired and couldn't really focus on my actual PhD work. So yeah, how to manage mental health and burnout ni memang you really need to think about every week apa yang the progress yang you nak buat for your PhD, because some other things, some other works tu adalah benda yang memang demands from other people kan, your work demand tu. But in terms of your PhD, apa sebenarnya progress yang you nak buat, and make it really clear and not too many for every week, so that you can be sustained until the end. It's not like awal-awal tu you rush things off so that you boleh progress banyak-banyak, tapi at the end you burn out and you have apa issues in the middle kan. So apa yang penting, macam Semaya pun cakap tadi lah, making progress tu, walaupun sekecil mana progress tu, lebih better daripada making banyak progress and then you just stop and giving up kan.
True.
So yeah, prioritization is really important for that.
Okay, so the last question before we move to the question in the comment section. Okay, this one I think maybe he or she is burnt out. How to know when to stop doing PhD?
Okay, so it's another good question. And okay, let me macam tell you honest truth that I have also sometimes in my PhD journey, especially during COVID started, I felt like I really want to stop. Okay, because you know kita akan rasa what's the point of doing it, right? Macam I have so many other things yang more important than completing this PhD and so on. So yeah, bila tanya how apa dia kata, how do you know when to stop, right? How
Yeah.
to know when to stop doing PhD? You can ask yourself, can you live with that? Can you live with stopping for maybe for a while? Okay, macam you can take a break for your PhD also. So that's one
Of the
thing.
options.
Yeah, one of the option. Maybe you are actually just tired, or maybe you don't really want to do your PhD. So I don't know what your situation is, but really to as I mentioned just now, PhD is not things that you macam mana kata, you really have to it's not the first priority in your life. The priority is still yourself, and if you think that this is the time you need to take care of other things first, you can also take a break for a while, and you can macam sambung balik lepas tu. Ataupun if you think that you you don't know apa whether this PhD that you are pursuing ni, especially when you are starting off, tak sangat lah, maybe the second year you start to question betul ke apa yang you buat ni. So you have to reflect back what is your why kan. So if you are clear, macam saya cakap, if you are clear, although it is becoming harder. Macam saya cakap, saya pun rasa nak fed up, nak putus asa banyak kali. I call my mom, no, I cannot do it. Ada lah benda tu berlaku on my third year tu, because I mentioned that it was during COVID kan. So that call tu ada lah, the crying call to my mom tu selalu lah berlaku. And then dia cakap, okay, tak apalah, why not you ni kan, why not you stop? And then I think about it, can I really stop? Do I want to really stop? So think about it betul-betul. Sometimes we try to convince ourselves that we don't want it, but in reality is that we just need some break. Just a little break, maybe even 1 week break pun will make us feel better. Meaning that break yang memang really stop thinking about it and memang go refresh yourself. And macam come back fresher after that. So things like that, because every person's situation is different kan. So
yeah, true. Okay, now on to the question from our participant yang dekat komen. Hi doctor, may I know how do you handle your time being a mom and a part-timer and also still manage to finish your PhD in time? I think tadi macam dah lebih kurang jawab lah.
Tapi I can add some more lah juga. Okay. So other than managing priority and so on, so remember that there are some things that you can macam delegate to your master's student in your lab or undergrad student, because if you are a PhD student, you should be able to manage other people also, because this is also the time for you to learn how to be a leader in your field also, right? So another way is that Kenya, it's not just working alone, thinking about how can you get that help, where can you delegate some of things, ataupun where what are some things that you can really eliminate from your things that you needed to do. So I think that's the thing that you really have to think about, meaning that for all the things that you have to do, you have to really reassess balik apa benda yang you need, really you are the one who have to do it, ataupun there are some other way that you can get that things done. Okay.
Okay. Okay, then I guess last question is, hi doctor, I would like to know your opinion on if you're starting your experiment at some point and you might come to that end, what should we do? Should we start all over again?
Start in your experiment at some point. Start in experiment.
Probably the experiment she doesn't get the anticipated result, maybe. Mungkin.
Because stuck in experiment, meaning that is it the experiment doesn't get done ke, ataupun macam stuck tu, is it because materials doesn't come ke, because there's so many ni kan pasal stuck ni kan. But maksudnya apa yang dia harapkan untuk dapat result tu tak dapat result, let's say macam tu dah kot untuk this problem. Any result is a result lah kan, macam even bad result is a result. So it's not sometimes we kita fikir yang bila result tu tak seperti yang kita bayangkan, macam in theory kita patut ingatkan dapat result macam tu, dia tengok in experiment result tu tak dapat macam tu. So discuss with the supervisor and validate balik your experiment, adakah what you have been doing adalah betul or whatsoever, or is it something that you can also publish your result with that, because sometimes even bad result is something that you can publish for new things that you discover from your experiment. So So if you feel that your design or experiment and your method is all, everything is okay, is correct, and but somehow the experiment punya result tu tak seperti yang you jangkakan,
Disangka.
I don't think yang you should start all over again. I think that
True,
the
because
result, yeah, the
you
result that
you
you,
are you are apa you are doing experiment because that is your research. You are doing research kan, kajian kan. So
mm-mm,
whether it's berjaya atau tidak tu is, I mean that's the outcome of the experiment. That is why you research
mm,
kan. And that's just my opinion lah.
mm-mm, yeah,
Tapi memang kena discuss balik dengan supervisor, I think.
yes, of course. Okay.
Okay, is there any other question from our participant pula, from ladies and gentlemen? Tepat pukul 10 kita habis dekat soalan.
Waktu Jepun kan.
Okay. Dahsyat. Okay, kita bagi masa sekejap untuk mungkin kalau ada soalan tambahan lagi daripada kita punya penonton. If doktor ada anything more to add?
I think for me, yeah, as I mentioned just now lah, dah panjang lah saya ungkapkan pasal balancing PhD ni, pasal it's not something that you have to, you know, be really competing with other people, but really track your own progress, see how far you have gone. Apa, tengok berapa banyak yang you have gone through kan, and instead of looking at berapa banyak lagi yang you have to do in front of you, really actually sometimes you have to reflect back berapa banyak steps yang you have made it. Maybe you are now in the first year ataupun second year, ataupun maybe sometimes dah third year, sometimes time third year tu yang dia rasa nak giving up kan. So actually look at how much you have made, and really reward yourself also for your own journey, for your own commitment, and really these things is not easy, and you are making it an effort and to really achieve your goals. And yeah, senang cerita, don't be too hard on yourself lah, senang cerita.
True.
Mm.
I mean the decision to pursue PhD itself is a very big decision and should be applauded for.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, any other question? Macam tak ada. Jadi, any other questions? Kalau tak, kita wrap up. Okay, so just for our participants lah, since I have stated from the beginning of the session that Dr. Aliah has a podcast that she she uploads every week, so you guys can check it out. Wait, let me share. Okay, this one. Okay, this is her podcast, so you can listen to if you need like productivity tips and success tips. So antara contoh-contoh yang dah pernah buat, apa tajuk-tajuk yang podcast yang dah pernah buat, Doktor?
Okay, so macam of course I always share about managing your time and be, you know, more balanced with your work and life and things like that. So in my podcast is all about how to really be productive and achieve your goals, but without losing yourself, without really burn out. So one of the hot topic lah I discuss is actually about burnout, and it's also available. I think it's episode I didn't remember episode apa, but if you look at this link anchor.fm/Dr. Aliah Majid ni, you can also ada satu episode that I talk about burnout, and I share my experience that happened to me when I was facing my burnout during my PhD, and actually from that what did I do. So those of you who have a question just now tentang burnout tu, I really want you guys to check that episode out so that you can try to strategize how to you can overcome your burnout. Okay.
Yeah, the explanation is more elaborated there, so you guys can click on the link. I have provided it in the comment section, so you guys can go to the is it website or I'm not sure,
This
but
one, this is a website. So
yeah.
you click the link, and there's you can subscribe to macam Spotify channel ke ataupun Apple Podcast ke, whatever podcast player that you want to hear. So this is the page link for that podcast lah.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. So okay, you guys have heard her, so you guys can check that out. And another thing is that Dr. Aliah has conducted a master class. Bila hari tu? Hari tu bila?
On 24th of October
Okay.
hari tu.
Okay, on the 24th of October. And it's about the title is 3 steps framework to achieve goals by Dr. Aliah. So you guys can check that out here. Let me just show you the. Okay, this one is the master class. So she has uploaded the replay, the recorded version of the master class, and you guys can watch it there. But it will only be
Available.
it will only be available. Sorry, my English is malam-malam ni dah English dah tak betul.
Tak
It
makan
will
kot tadi kan.
only be Itulah tu, lapar dah.
Uh,
It will only be available up until 28th of October sahaja. 28
So,
October sahaja and it will be gone. Yeah,
yeah,
so
so
better
really
watch
make
it.
sure to watch for this masterclass at draliahmajid.com/masterclass, because it's really sum up on how to really achieve your goals. So whatever goals that you have, maybe your PhD, or maybe you really want to stop your PhD, you can actually listen to this and really think about that. So it only will be available until 28th of October. So really try to check it out before it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, you really want to check that out. Okay, so I think that's all from the participant. There's no new comments.
Okay.
So I think we can wrap this up. Doctor, any last word gitu sebelum kita
Okay.
sebelum kita pergi makan.
Sebelum makan kan? Okay. So, okay, I hope you guys the best in your own PhD journey, and stay connected, and you can still follow me at Aliah, Instagram at aliah.majid. So, follow me at Instagram also, so that you can keep in touch, because I share many productivity tips and my own experiences and so on in my I am more active in Instagram lah berbanding Facebook. So keep in touch there, and you can also DM me on my Instagram aliah.majid. Okay. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. Wait, let me just share the masterclass link so that the participant can just click on the link and go to the masterclass replay. Okay. All right, I've put it in the comment section, so you guys can check that out. And okay, thank you so much, Dr. Aliah, for accepting our invitation and to share very inspirational and very informative, very insightful content with us tonight. And okay, just a reminder for participants, for you to get the e-certificate, kindly fill in the feedback form for us to provide the details on the e-certificate, because if you don't fill it in, then no e-certificate for you. Kidding, but yeah, kindly fill in the feedback form. Okay, and then thank you again, Doctor, for being with us tonight.
Okay.
Inshallah, if mungkin nanti boleh invite lagi.
Boleh. Thank you so much, Sumaya, for inviting me. I'm really
Welcome.
glad to be here to be speaking with all of you guys. So thank
This
you
is
so much.
this is apa, kira macam mock lah, Doktor. Nanti kan kot Doktor nak buat YouTube live pula kan sendiri. So this is how is it
Inshallah.
like. Sebab Doktor dah ada podcast kan. So mungkin next step is mungkin YouTube lah kan.
Yeah, inshallah. In still in that direction lah, inshallah.
Ya, wah, okay. Kita doakan yang baik-baik, insyaAllah. I hope you enjoy being with us tonight juga. Sambil-sambil memberi perkongsian tu, enjoy jugalah sembang-sembang kan.
Yeah, I really enjoyed with you, Sumaya.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much again, Doctor. And thank you, our participants, for joining us tonight. And I hope to see you guys again on the next live sharing session. As usual, you guys can stay updated by following our Facebook page, Proofreaders United, or for more content on about postgraduates or PhD technical tips or motivational sharing sessions, then you guys can check our YouTube channel, Proofreaders United. There are a lot of content there. You don't want to miss it.
Okay.
I mean, if you have missed the live session, then you can see the recorded version in our YouTube channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live sharing session, inshallah. And thank you so much again. I hope you'll have a good night and stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya end sekejap tapi Doktor stay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you everyone. Bye.